All right, guys. I think it happened. I think Rogan has finally broke me. I think I finally snapped. I don't know how much longer I can deal with shit like this, bro. I really don't know. Here's a clip that went kind of viral on Twitter, 1.2 million views. And the clip, my understanding of it, I haven't watched the full thing yet, but I saw some of the text. It's just him shitting on Tim Walz. Shitting on Tim Walz and talking about how much he's opposed to liars in politics. All right, here we go. Let's listen, and then we'll discuss.
If that Tim Walz cocksucker, if that guy got into...
We're 2 seconds in. That Tim Walz cocksucker.
Into power? Like if Kamala died and Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, was our fucking president, you know how crazy this country would be? That weirdo who puts tampons in the boys' room, and what about our joy?
That was a lie. That whole story was a fucking lie. See, this goes to show you his media diet is fucking abysmal. Like, all he does is look at right-wing Twitter and listen to right-wing podcasts and thinks that these people are serious and they care about accuracy and they care about facts. That story was debunked literally within a day. That story was debunked. You know what he actually did? He got tampons in the girls' bathroom, also known as just a good policy. The whole thing about it's in the boys' bathroom, it was totally complete and utter right-wing horseshit made up to try to do what? Demagogue and do anti-trans fear-mongering. That's all it is. That's all it is. And still, here we are, literally months later. He didn't even bother to look it up. He didn't even bother to fact-check it. He didn't even bother to try to go to some neutral observer. He just ran with it. Because he has the worst case of confirmation bias I've ever seen. He just has online right-wing brainworms, and if something fits in with the narrative he likes and agrees with, that's it. He's done. That's why there's been 47 examples within the past year or two of him saying something ridiculous, and Jamie's got to be like, actually, Joe, that's not true. I just looked it up. It just happened the other day. He said that, so he said homeless people started the massive fires in LA, and then he goes, one of the homeless guys had a UN debit card and 5 cell phones. If you didn't have a little thing in the back of your mind in that moment saying, you know what, it doesn't sound quite right. If you didn't have even that bare minimum of a governor in your brain, I'm sorry, you're just cooked, bro. You are just immensely cooked. Fall for every fucking right-wing dumbass story from the outrage machine. I mean, he's just turned into a Fox News grandpa. That's what's happened. Doesn't care about the truth. Doesn't care about reality. Feed me my narrative. I love. Yeah, liberals and Democrats are stupid. Yeah, MAGA's so based, bro.
He's a complete pathological liar. Like a complete liar. Lied about being in Tiananmen Square. Lied about being a fucking head coach of a football team.
Oh, my God. Joe, you endorsed Donald Trump. You endorsed literally the most prolific liar in modern American history. And here you are virtue signaling about how much you hate liars and you love honesty. And by the way, every single one of Tim Walz's claims that he acts like, bro, it's a fucking lie, bro, it's just a lie, bro. The Tiananmen Square one. Yeah, he was there. He was there for the pro-democracy protests in China. It was either, I forget if it was a month before or a month after or a week before or a week after. He was there while they were going on, but wasn't there for that exact moment. And he acts like, oh my, this is absurd. Liar. The coach thing? He was an assistant coach, not a head coach. Oh, is that disqualifying, Joe? But it's not disqualifying to lie for 4 years straight and say you won an election when you didn't fucking win an election? It's not disqualifying to do a fake elector slate and tell people internally that you knew you lost the election while publicly saying, I won the election? So that's not disqualifying? What was the number? You guys look it up. You post it in the comment section below. Trump told it was either 32,000 lies or 36,000 lies in his first term. Remember that? And even if you say, hey, some of these are not lies and maybe there's a gray area and let's give him the benefit of the doubt or whatever. Okay, I always say, cut it in half. He told 15,000 lies. Still the most prolific liar in American history. Joe Rogan sat there while Trump said to him, I never said lock her up about Hillary. I never said lock her up. I'd say, whoa, and the state would say lock her up. Meanwhile, cut to the fucking compilation, him saying it like 100 times. I'm like, fucking, of course he did. Of course he said that. Of course he said that. You let Trump lie to your face relentlessly for fucking 3 hours straight, and you sat there giggling like a schoolgirl, you bitch. And he's all, Tim Walz, bro. Tim Walz, biggest liar, bro.
I thought some of that was just weird and how avoidable it was.
100% avoidable, but pathological liars, people that are habitual liars, they just lie all the time about everything.
Who does that sound like, yo? Who does that sound like? The guy he fucking endorsed. I mean, it's just embarrassing. Do I even need to continue with this clip?
There's a way you can do it where it's sort of like no one's ever going to know. And there's things you can fib about that are just that you find out in 5 seconds. So you wonder about making the call to embellish something that a person could answer on their phone.
Right. Instantly.
Like almost as you're saying it.
Yeah.
Again, having this conversation, meanwhile, he endorsed Trump, is the most like, he literally has zero ability to do introspection. And that's kind of hilarious because there was a time when everybody thought he was a very introspective dude, right? Like, oh, he seems so down to earth. He seems to be self-critical, etc. Look at this. This is humiliating. Now, what's my main bone to pick with Rogan on this issue? Well, first of all, remember when he compared Tim Walz to Kim Jong-un in North Korea? We covered that segment. I fucking lost it in that segment. That nearly broke me. This actually broke me. Why? Because Joe loves to talk about Tim Walz. He loves to talk about Tim Walz. Let me ask you a question. Do you think Joe can name even one policy that Tim Walz did in Minnesota? Can he name one policy Tim Walz did in Minnesota? I'll wait. You know the answer to that. The answer is no. Here's a guy, Rogan, endorsed Bernie Sanders and said the reason I'm endorsing Bernie Sanders is because I agree with the policies that he puts out there. I want free college. I want free healthcare. He would go down like, yeah, I like these things, right? This is what he says. Likes Bernie Sanders because of his policies. Doesn't know the first fucking thing about Tim Walz and his record. Because if he did, he would know what Tim Walz is the best governor in the country, and it's not even close. He gave us universal free school breakfast for kids. Do you like that, Joe? Does that sound good? Does that sound positive? He also did universal free school lunch for kids. Does that sound good? Have you said anything positive about that? Do you even know that it happened? Of course you don't know that it happened. You know what else he did in Minnesota, Joe? Legalized weed. You know, the thing that you talked about for like a fucking decade on your show and said like this was your number one policy issue. It's clearly the one you were most passionate about. You kept coming back to it. He legalized weed. You didn't say a goddamn word about that. It'd be one thing if you're like, hey, I don't really like him, but like credit where it's due, here are these things that were actually good. He didn't even do that. He didn't even do that. He's just completely and utterly fucking full of shit now. Doesn't have the first fucking clue what he's talking about. Tim Walz did carbon-free electricity by 2040. He did tax rebates to the working class up to $1,300 if you make $150,000 a year or less. Just cash right in people's pockets. He did 12 weeks paid family leave and 12 weeks paid sick leave. He banned gay conversion therapy because he knows it's a fucking scam. He did red flag laws for guns so that if somebody's out there like, I'm going to shoot up the school tomorrow, you're legally allowed to say, the fuck you are, and take their gun. He did automatic voter registration, free public college for people making under $80,000 a year. He banned the PFAS, the forever chemicals. That's something that if it was RFK who did it, Rogan would be singing his praise. Oh my God, this guy's amazing. He banned the forever chemicals. He's standing up to the evil corporations that are trying to poison us. Tim Walz does it. He doesn't even fucking know about it. And at this point, even if you told him that he did it, he still wouldn't give the guy credit because he's fucking fundamentally incapable because he has MAGA brain worms. Tim Walz also increased K-12 school funding by $2.2 billion. He did sectoral bargaining for nursing home workers to raise their pay. He was also in Congress. When he was in Congress, he voted against outsourcing deals. He voted against the Wall Street bailouts. As governor, he codified Roe v. Wade. He did right to repair. I mean, the list goes on and on. He raised the minimum wage for small businesses, raised taxes on multinational corporations. On foreign policy, here's one. On foreign policy, he opposed the Iraq War. He fought the neocons twice when they tried to bomb Syria. He opposed sending weapons to Saudi Arabia. Again, all these things, if it was a Republican who did it, if it was a MAGA Republican, he'd be singing their praises. But since it's Tim Walz, doesn't know, doesn't care, never looked into his policy record, never looked into his history. He just gets a vibe from him that he doesn't like. So, oh, bro, he's a liar. I saw all this right-wing bullshit about him, so it must be true. So, yeah, he put tampons in the grocery. Literally, I guarantee you this is the reality. I guarantee you, like the first thing he heard about Tim Walz was the tampons in boys' bathroom thing. That was it. From then on, you poison the well, right? Every time he sees this guy, he thinks, what a fucking psycho, what a weirdo. And so, his perception is just tainted. And so everything from then on out, he was primed to believe every negative thing ever about Tim Walz, all the right-wing smear stories. I'm sure he believes the bro stolen valor bullshit, even though, Tim Walz achieved the higher ranking, but he didn't fill out the paperwork, and he was leaving the military, and so technically he didn't achieve the higher rank, but I'm sure he thinks, oh, bro lied about that, bro lied. Literally every one of the lies that Tim Walz supposedly told, they're all like slight embellishments where when you read the specifics of it, you go, oh, okay, that's kind of understandable. I could see how he could say something like that. Meanwhile, with Trump, he just shamelessly and relentlessly makes things up, says the exact opposite of the truth. I mean, Donald Trump, guys, okay. Do you want to talk about pathological liar? This is always one of my favorite Trump lies. You guys ready for this? And this came out in 2015 or 2016 when he first ran. Donald Trump, when it was like the 1980s and the 1990s, he, of course, is like a celebrity-obsessed little weasel, and he was trying to make a name for himself. So he would call those tabloid magazines, and he would pretend to be his own publicist. He would say, this is John Barron. I'm Trump's publicist. And you know what? All these women are all over Trump. Madonna loves Trump. All these famous, beautiful women, they love Trump. They want to date Trump. All of them want to date Trump. And what happened was one of the tabloid writers decided, I know Trump is calling me and pretending to be his own publicist. And this is super weird. So I'm going to record a phone call with this person. Recorded the phone call. That tape was released in 2015 or 2016. Clear as day. This is Donald Trump pretending to be his own publicist, saying how much women love Trump. That tape was played for Trump. Trump goes, that's not me. I don't know what you're talking about. Literally the most obvious thing in the world that's Donald Trump. I don't know what you're talking about. That's not me. That's like when you want to talk about pathological liar. Literally stone cold caught in a brazen lie. Still, nope, not. That's not me. That's not me. This is fake news. This is fake news. This is fake news. And that's who Rogan is. Overlook literally all of the over 30,000 lies told by Donald Trump, the guy who tried to steal the last fucking election, 91 criminal charges against him. If Joe Biden had 91 criminal charges, do you think that'd be a deal breaker for Joe vis-a-vis Joe Biden? I think so. With Trump, totally overlooks it. Why? He likes the vibe. He likes the vibe. He likes the no filter. Trump is kind of like a stand-up comic. It sounds like he doesn't give a fuck, right? Like, this is it, right? This is it. This is what he's become. There's one thing I cannot stand, bro. I cannot stand Tim Walz hate. I cannot stand Tim Walz hate. This guy is basically Bernie Sanders as a governor, right? That's what he is. Genuinely and sincerely cares about the people of Minnesota and delivered for them. Genuinely and sincerely cares about the people of the United States and would have delivered for them too. People like Joe hear one fucking bullshit lie about tampons in boys' bathrooms, loses his mind, smears him relentlessly, calls him a pathological liar, and that's the end of it, right? I can't help you, Joe, if you can't take yes for an answer when good people come along with good policies who actually want to fix things. I can't help you. If you're willing to fall for every fucking right-wing smear, every fake news bullshit story, I can't help you. I can't help you. There's only so much I can do. Right? And so here we are. God, the fucking people who hate Tim Walz are the worst. They're just the fucking worst. He's lost his mind. Joe's fucking lost his mind. There's no hope. He's gone. And believe me, just like to this point, you never heard him say a single fucking thing about any actual policy Tim Walz did. You'll never hear him say it. And from now until the end of time, it'll be fucking bullshit smears about tampons. And every time Tim Walz is brought up, that's what'll come to his head from now until he dies. Tampons in boys' bathroom. It won't be 12 weeks paid family leave, 12 weeks paid sick leave, free school breakfast and lunch for kids, higher minimum wage. That won't come up. Tampons in boys' bathrooms will come up. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.